Earlier, Andy asked me about the value of a blog network to increase search engine rankings. And there's a couple of different ways to look at it. One, like the stuff we're talking about, if you build a site and you're targeting a low to mid-range keyword, or if you're targeting a local business keyword, the blogs, a few blog posts themselves can get you to the top. But when it's a little bit more competitive and you really have to do the big SEO thing, you could still use a blog network to increase your search engine rankings, because it kind of lends credibility to everything you have going on. And I'll just give one super quick example. One of my personal sites, I was ranking #1 for a 2-keyword phrase, a very difficult 2-keyword phrase, but one of those 2 words was like the biggest of the big keywords, the keywords that you could almost never get to rank, that I probably would never have tried. But I had discovered one way or another that I was like number 43 for that keyword. And I thought, I had no clue I was 43. Now, I didn't get any traffic for being number 43 for that one keyword, but I went to the blogs and I did a couple of posts just on that one keyword, and I pushed it up to 17. And it, like, within a couple of days, it went up to 17 for that, like, big monster single keyword phrase. So here I saw, originally my whole big thing was, use the blog network to go after, medium tier keywords. But guess what? If you have something that you're really struggling with to get it to the top, and you're maybe doing all of the best white hat strategies, or maybe you have a brand or something you don't want to mess with, you could still use the blogs and do what I did and just target one of your keywords, and you may be able to push it up. I pushed it up to like number 17, and then I did a few more posts, and it went to 12, and it was one of those keywords that you could almost be on the 3rd or 4th page, and you still just got so much traffic because it was one of those big keywords. And I actually finally did push it up to the first page. So the point is that while we're doing the other stuff mainly for like make money, we'll build sites to achieve a goal, you could also go out there and work it into your SEO strategies as well to increase rankings on your other sites. Okay, mistakes. All right, I think we actually covered a lot of the mistakes that people make. I'll just say very quickly, I think a lot of people get too greedy and they want to go too fast, too hard, too soon. And I've seen it happen too many times. If you do that, in general, you're going to burn it really, really fast. You may get a temporary gain, but if you do what we do, we tend to go for long-term strategies, and you want to go slow and steady to start, and then you could build up over time, nothing wrong with that, and then over time you just want to continue to drip a few links here and there. So you don't need to go out and get those massive number of links in most cases. So that's one big mistake I would say, definitely. If you follow my general strategy, and I won't get into it completely, but it's all there in the Blogging Underground training. We have this really deep, probably too deep training. But my philosophy is start with a simple, sparse, plain site. You get a domain, and you need to earn Google's respect. So right off the bat, put an ugly, temporary, plain white page with a couple of articles about my keyword that I'm targeting, and I'll do a couple of links in some of the Blogging Underground blogs, and usually within 3 or 4 days, a week at the most, you're going to get indexed, and in some cases you'll actually see your domain starting to rank for that keyword. And at that point, I would probably build the blog and start getting a little more heavy into it. But yes, you could absolutely link from the beginning. I think the thing to keep in mind about Blogging Underground, this particular network of blogs and all of the domains that you would be getting links on are doing things the way that you would do them if they were your sites. So there's really no risk or low risk, because we do all the right things. Respect them. So they're not going to burn the blogs. So there's no reason to do that. You could definitely do that. There's a lot of different purposes for a page. If you're going after a top ranking for your page, Well, you may not want to have it duplicated, but if you're going out there and you're trying to get link juice coming into your site, it's okay that a lot of pages that have similar content on it are pointing to your site, as long as you don't have 100 or 1,000 exact duplicate pages with the exact identical author bio box pointing at your site. You're going to get in trouble doing that kind of stuff. But as long as you're, just being a little bit creative and not getting overly greedy and, not resisting the temptation to go out there and just blast, thousands of identical things out there, you're going to be fine. You're going to be cool. It's not one of those push-button solutions. It's not a blast or submit or robot thing. It does require a little bit of effort, special effort, but when you understand how much extra results you can get from that little bit of extra effort, it's where you could really take advantage of it. So I'm really excited to have you guys look at this, and I hope you'll come and join. And to make it easy to post in the blogs really quick, the general idea is that when you have a website and you're trying to get a ranking, you want to do what real-world websites do. And if a real-world website has a good page on dog allergy treatments, what happens? People find it and they start linking to it. So the links are going to be spread all over the world from different websites, ideally. It's not going to come from one site over and over and over again. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that. You could have several links coming from the same blog, like in our network, but that's one of the rules we have. You could only post so many times a day before we stop you, because it's not in your best interest to do excessive posting from the same places. We have too many blogs. There's no reason not to spread it out on several different blogs.